Composites.
Doors and
Windows.
Furnishings.
Hardware. Hello, builders!
today you will learn about
Some of the materials
Used in building and construction.
So let's go right with it.
and start building successfully.
You might think all doors and windows are created equal, but they're definitely not. There are different materials to consider, as well as different layouts. The choices are endless, and there are definitely some considerations to be made before picking out the doors and windows for your house.
Let me give you some info or insights regarding the types of doors. Our first in line is bifold doors. When compared to a regular door, bifold doors hold shut within the door frame, saving space. The door does not open into or out of the room. Instead, doors two pieces fold left or right. There is no right rack on the floor and on a pivot hinge on the frame, so there are no risk or impediments for small children or wheel users. Our next one is composite door. A composite door is one that is constructed from a combination of materials to provide strength and longevity. For doors, this generally consists of solid woods or particle core put inside the wooden frame and covered with a GRP covering. Composite doors are low-cost and almost maintenance-free type of door. Our third one is concertina doors, are similar to bifold doors except that they contain several folds and no hinges. They're normally made of sturdy PVC and may fold and unfurl in different portions, depending on the doors with kitchen pantries, walk-in closet, and other storage or utility facilities are more likely to have this kind of doors. The next one is engineered doors. The most prevalent form of mass-produced door is engineered doors. To achieve an appealing final finish, solid strip or blocks of woods are bonded together and coated with a decorative varnish or veneer. Various thicknesses and materials can be employed, and the door grain can be matched with a thick piece of wood lipping around the exterior. Because of the panel matching, engineered doors have a more uniform wood look. The next in line is fire doors. Fire doors are life-saving products that are built to strict specification to offer building occupants more time to flee in the case of fire. FD30 or FD60 doors are certified to keep back fire and flame for 30 minutes or 60 minutes in FD60. In line with British Standard BS476 Part 22 or the European equivalent BSEN 1634 Part 1, FD60, to complete the system, heavier and thicker interior doors, fire-rated hinges, fire-rated door frames, and into cement, ceiling strips must be installed. The next one is French doors, often known as double doors in United Kingdom, are a pair of hinge doors that open outwards. These doors are frequently utilized between dining rooms and living rooms, as well as out in the patio area due to their dramatic appearance and the fact that they generally have a lot of glazing. There are several finishes, materials, and style to choose from. The next type of door is flush doors, are simple flat doors with no decorative element on either side. They're simple and beautiful with high quality construction and a variety of varnishes to choose from for a variety of final looks. The next one is hardwood doors. Because of the wood used to make them, hardwood doors are thick, sturdy, and long-lasting. Hardwood is more resistant to decay, and since it is more robust, it is better suited for outdoor use than softwood. Due to the nature of the wood, external hardwood doors can have a gorgeous high-density grain finish. Beech, walnut, mahogany, and oak are common hardwoods. The next one is ledge and brace doors. Standard wooden doors with horizontal and diagonal bracing across the top, middle, and bottom, as well as diagonally from one corner to another, are known as ledge and brace doors. The boarding is usually intended for internal use but is visible and adds a rustic appeal to listed or dated buildings and interiors. Our next one is mortise and tenon doors, are more about robust and stable than dowel construction joints, making them suitable for outdoor usage, forming a tongue from the cross rails and gluing it into a gap in the stile, then pushing wedges in from the outside to secure their connection is how the junction is made. The next type of door is molded doors, or flat wooden doors with a layer of MDF or another comparable material on the front for details. The next one is panel doors. Panel doors have conventional form that includes an outside frame with flat, raised or sunken panels. Doors with two panels are known as A2 panels doors, and doors with 3 panels are known as 3-panel doors. It's easier to match new doors to the same design as old interior doors if you make this difference. The next one is pre-finished doors. Have been factory treated to ensure that they are ready for installation right away when they arrive. Pre-finished doors frequently features factory cut holes for handles and hinges. Thus, pre-finished doors are the best choice for the consistency across the internal door. Another type of door is a room divider. It is an internal part of door between two rooms or inner porch door. The last 3 types of doors is side light, sliding doors, and stable doors. So what is side light? It is a strip of transparent, opaque, or stained glass on the side of a door frame that adds elegancy to an entryway. Side lights can be single-sided or double-sided on whichever side of the door you have the room for, and are very typical for outdoor front doors. The second to the last is sliding doors. Sliding doors enter into a room by sliding sideways inside the aperture. For busy family homes, this style of door is a fantastic space saver, especially if every inch of door space is needed or if a door leading into another room could clash with furniture. Sliding doors, often known as pocket doors, can glide on a track across a wall or into a hollow in the wall. Our last one is called a stable door. Because of its appearance, a stable door is most typically found leading to and from a kitchen. This door splits in half and may be opened from either the top or the bottom. Stable doors are ideal for allowing fresh air into a kitchen without allowing young children or pets to escape.
And now, what types of doors are fit to your needs and preferences? I hope that you will be able to apply them all soon in your future project. Thank you.
There's a wide array of windows used in households. Each window usually has their own use. The first on the list on the type of window is the aluminum window. These are one of the most common materials used. These windows can be painted according to one's wish and require very less maintenance. They are slim and will not eat up much of your space. Next is the arch and radius window. The front-facing arch and radius windows are rectangular glass, topped with a semicircular window frame. Some windows can be adjustable for ventilation, while others are fixed to let only sunlight in. The wooden grids on both interior and exterior sections give a strong structure while giving a dramatic effect with divided lights. Third on the list is the awning window. With top hinge and outward openings, the awning windows are weather resistant and offer easy ventilation. These windows can be combined with the picture windows for versatile effectiveness. They can also place them a little higher from the ground to ensure privacy. They are smaller in size and are mostly used in basements. Fourth is the bay window. These windows are projected outward the main building and form a cozy bay which can be polygonal, half square, semicircular, semi-hexagonal, and sometimes even triangular. Next is the casement window. These can open fully to the left or right. They are used mostly in kitchens above the sink or the room balcony. An outside hinge supports the outward opening, while proper angling can let air to enter the interior directly. Glazed glasses are used in manufacturing these windows. Lever, handle, or cracks are attached for the opening. Next on the list is the combination window. Be it a combination of slider and casement window, awning and fixed window, two picture windows, a casement window and a picture window, or sometimes even a fixed and casement window, you can customize according to your need. These are mostly used in dining rooms, master living rooms, and master bedrooms. They offer an obstructive view while ensuring proper ventilation. Then, we have the curved window. The handmade traditional curved windows with double glazing are like bay windows, but without angular edges. They seal out adverse weather and ensure security. These are used in restaurants, top floor or high-rise buildings, and even in houses with patio door customization. Next, we have the double and single hung windows. Single hung windows have an adjustable bottom sash to let ventilation in. The double hung windows, on the other hand, have two adjustable sashes to let air pass through the top or the bottom section, sometimes even both. They are used in rooms facing roads, decks, porches, or walkways. Some of them come with wooden detailing, while some have durable fiberglass structure, or stylish low-maintenance vinyl structures. These windows are energy efficient. Next up is the fixed window. These windows cannot be adjusted or opened and are used mostly in freezing regions where ventilation is not needed. These windows let limited light to enter and minimal vision. They are used mostly in churches. Then, we have the picture window. These windows are very large in size to dominate the wall or room where they are attached, and as their name suggests, they are mostly used for offering an overlook to something attractive. They have a single glass pane and cannot be opened as they are stationary. They are energy efficient and often utilized with other combinations for maximizing view. Next on the list is the sliding window. The horizontal sliding windows can be slid back and forth without causing any friction and can be operated easily with fingers. There are wood and vinyl windows, which are affordable, wood and fiberglass windows, which are eco-friendly, and aluminum-clad windows with double or triple sliders. Next are steel windows. These are one of the strongest and most durable types of windows that are very secure. Gone are the days when one used to worry about rusting in the case of steel windows. Now, there are galvanized steel windows that do not rust over decades and have the same strength as their predecessor. Next up on the list is the tightly turned window. These large windows can be swung in like a door and tilted with sash to the interior for allowing additional ventilation. These also act as an emergency exit option. The wooden frame, exterior casing, glazed insulated glass, and divided lights make them efficient. Next, we have the UPVC windows. UPVC windows are considered as eco-friendly materials. They are highly thermal efficient and thus can help you in cutting down the costs of heating or cooling your home. They are also fire resistant and thus provide you with an added layer of safety. They are also known to be pretty good insulators and keep the outside noise at bay. These are one of the most affordable types of windows. Lastly, we have the wooden windows. These windows impact an elegant look to the house. They require comparatively higher maintenance, but balance out on the royal touch they impart to the house.
And now, what window fits your needs and preferences? I hope that you will be able to apply them all soon in your future project. Thank you.
Composites.
Doors and
Windows.
Furnishings.
Hardware. Hello, builders!
today you will learn about
Some of the materials
Used in building and construction.
So let's go right with it.
and start building successfully.
Having to wake up in a comfy bed on a Saturday morning is really a struggle. But sipping a warm coffee on the dining table while waiting for the sunrise is somewhat magical. Or watching Netflix while chilling at the living area is such an everyday dream for some who just wanted to relax and stay at home, because who doesn't want that? A home must be a place of secureness and comfort, and that leads us to home furnishings. Picking the right furniture for its respective area will not only make your daily life easy, but it will also match the aesthetics of the house. On this episode of Furnishings, we will tackle about different furniture classified in the different areas of the house, from living room, dining area, bedroom, and the office. Furnishings. These are components that incorporate soft material that create a comfortable and pleasant environment. There are a lot of furnishing types, and these are some of the common ones. First on the list, curtains. These are coverings for the windows that are made of different types of materials, like cotton, silk, linen, velvet, polyester, and lace. Second is cushions. These are fabric case filled with soft materials such as wool, feathers, polyester staple fiber, non-woven material, or even paper torn into fragments, which you put on a seat to make it more comfortable. Third, beddings or covering for mattresses. Fourth, wall hangings and tapestries. Fifth, floor coverings or rugs. These are made of different materials such as wool, silk, natural fiber, synthetic fiber, cotton, and many more. Sixth, chair coverings. And last but not the least, bean bags. These are comfy sitting bags that are sealed and contains PVC pellets or expanded polystyrene. And now, let's go to the different types of furnitures that are classified into their respective areas. Living room. The gathering area of the house where storytelling, laughter, and bonding takes place. First furniture, sofa. These are covered bench with cushions, two arms, and space for several people to sit. And there are several types of sofa. The traditional sofa, the grand sofa that provides seats for 4 to 5 people, love seats that provides comfortable room for 2 people, sectional sofa and LRU-shaped sofa perfect for the family room, sofa beds, and many more. And here are some materials used for sofa: leather, polyester, linen, wool, velvet, and polyurethane leather. Next are accent chairs. They are meant to complement the decor, draw out a particular color, provide a focal point or add contrast to spice up a boring monotone space. Third on the list, recliner. Do you want a relaxing seat while sipping a cup of coffee or watching TV? Well, this is the chair for you. It is an armchair or sofa that reclines back and raises its front for more comfortable seating. Fourth, ottoman. These are multi-purpose pieces of furniture that can be used as storage, seating options, or as stand-in for a coffee table. Now, for tables and shelving. First one, coffee table. A style of long, low table which is designed to be placed in front of a sofa to support beverages, magazines, books, and other small items to be used while sitting. These tables are made of some common materials like wood, glass, metals, plastic, and stone. Second, end table or side table. It serves as convenient space for lighting, drink coasters, and other items which is easy to reach from the sofa. Third and last is a console table. These are slender and long tables that can be used for function as TV stands or media consoles. Next area is the dining room. As a Filipino, we all know that this place is one of the respective areas of the house for having a blessed food to eat every day, and probably one of the most favorite areas for some people who loves eating. First furnitures are the dining table and chairs. A table where food is served and a chair where people get to eat peacefully. There are different shapes of dining tables. It may be oval, circular, rectangular, or a square table that comes in hand with the space of the dining area. There are a lot of materials also used for the dining tables and chairs. These are wood, glass, marble, plastic, and metals. We have also dining room counters, an ideal dining set solution for taller individuals or simply those who wish to have a little more legroom while enjoying their meals. And last but not the least, sideboards. Like the console tables, these sideboards are used as storage. These are placed along a wall and used for storing dishes, glasses, and table linen. And of course, the bedroom. A perfect place to relax after a tiring day and the area that you dreamed of not leaving for the rest of your life. Why? Because sleep is lifer. Of course, the first furniture is the bed. Probably everyone's favorite piece of furniture. It is where you sleep or take a rest, typically a framework with a mattress and the coverings. Bed comes in different sizes: single, double, twin size, queen size, and king bed. And there are two known materials for bed framing: the metal and the wood. Next is the headboard. It is typically furniture that is attached on the head of the bed that gives support not only on your bed but most important to protect your wall against abrasion. Are you also a night person? Because the next furniture is perfect for you. Third, nightstand or night table. A furniture next to the bed that is used to support items that might be useful during the night, such as table lamp, alarm clock, reading matter, cell phone, eyeglasses, tissues, a drink, or a medicine. Up next is a dresser, typically a furniture used for storing clothes. And there are many materials that can be used to make dressers, like wood, mirrored glass, leather, rattan, and metal. And last but not the least, for the bedroom is the mattresses. It is a large rectangular pad placed on the top of the bed to support a lying person. Mattresses may also be filled with air or water. The last area for this episode is the office. When you're into business, for sure you also dreamed of having your own office at home. So here are the furniture that comes with it. First is the desk. It is an important furniture for offices because it is where all the work is done, and most desks have drawers that you can store important files or documents regarding your work. Second is storage cabinets. It is designed and used solely for the storage of personal equipment and possessions of the occupants. And the last is the bookshelves. It is used not only to store books, but also printed materials that you can use on your business.
And now, what furnishings fit to your needs and preferences? I hope that you will be able to apply them all soon in your future project.
And that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for other areas of your home that needs furnishings.
Composites.
Doors and
Windows.
Furnishings.
Hardware. Hello, builders!
today you will learn about
Some of the materials.
Used in building and construction.
So let's go right with it.
And start building successfully.
In a building construction, many of us think that we somehow knew the materials used during the construction, such as concrete, wood, and more. We thought these things were basic, but they really aren't. They are made up of two or more components to be formed into what they are. And we have them near us. Chances are they're in your flooring, your walls, your ceiling, and even your bathtub. They are called composite materials. Composite materials are made by combining two or more substances that have different physical properties. Here's the list of some composite materials in your construction project. An ideal composite is made of materials that complete each other's shortcomings. For example, a material that compresses well could be combined with a material that stretches well to perform a compressible and stretchable composite. Just like our first composite material on the list, mud bricks. Mud bricks came to be when people realized that straw was resistant to stretching and that dried mud copes well with compression. The ancient Egyptians used a composite of clay mixed with straw. Developing countries used mud bricks to build their huts. Perhaps the introduction of the mud brick is what inspired much more advanced composites, as we'll see later on. The second one is wood, yet you might be surprised to find out that wood is actually a composite. Wood is made of long fibers of cellulose that are held together by a weaker substance called lignin. The organization of the cellulose within the wood is what makes some of types of wood, like ironwood, stronger than others. Fiberglass. Fiberglass is simply plastic that is combined with glass fibers. It is likely that your bathtubs, doors, decking, and window frames all take advantage of fiberglass in some way. Fiberglass is particularly useful in windows since the fiberglass and glass window pane shares an almost identical coefficient of expansion. We also have fiberglasses for the roof. A fiberglass roof is a composite material formed by combining polyester and fine strands of fiberglass to form a laminate. Layers of fiberglass mats are wetted out and then once cured, coated with a top coat. And we have fiberglass insulation. Fiberglass is made of glass fibers. This includes several basic raw materials, the most primary of which include silica sands, limestone, and soda ash. Fiberglass building insulation is used primarily for thermal and acoustical purposes in wall cavities, attics, and other critical open spaces in building assemblies. One of its key advantages is value. Next thing we have fiber reinforced concrete. Fiber reinforced concrete is made by evenly scattering the short and fine dispersed fibers into ordinary concrete. The purpose for the addition of short fibers is to improve the tensile strength and impact resistance and reduce the brittleness of concrete. Fibers are usually used in concrete to control cracking due to plastic shrinkage and to drying shrinkage. They also reduce the permeability of concrete and thus reduce bleeding of water. Some types of fibers produce greater impact, abrasion, and shatter resistance in concrete. Next on the list, we have translucent concrete. Translucent concrete is made by combining two major materials: fine concrete with cement and aggregates like sand, and optical fibers. These optical fibers replace other concrete aggregates and conduct light from artificial and natural sources even at an angle of incidence of more than 60 degrees. Translucent concrete blocks are suitable for floorings and pavements, and are also used in staircases and desks. Other than that, translucent concrete is used in partition walls, doors, panels, and etc., and adds to the beauty of the interior by illuminating the area during the daytime. Glass fiber reinforced concrete. These are mainly used in exterior building facade panels and as architectural precast concrete. The glass fiber reinforced concrete usually finds applications in building renovation works, water and drainage works, bridge and tunnel lining panels, permanent formwork, method of construction, architectural cladding, and acoustic barriers and screens. Absorbent concrete. The conventional type is made from a mixture of cement, made from heated limestone and clay, water and an aggregate such as sand, rock, and gravel to provide structural stability and stop the mix shrinking too much. Engineered bamboo. Engineered bamboo flooring consists of a backing layer made from cross-laminated plywood or fiberboard. Engineered bamboo floors are very stable and they are a cinch to maintain. Engineered bamboo has been used as paneling, vehicle beds, concrete formworks, and lightweight building construction. In comparison to the woods that have been traditionally used, a number of benefits and drawbacks have been identified. Here we have a composite lumber. Composite lumber is a material that is a mixture of wood fiber, plastic, and some type of binding agent. These ingredients are put together to form a material that is denser, stronger, and heavier than wood alone, a wood-plastic composite. These are often used in cabinets, furniture, sheathing, flooring, and siding. They are less expensive than hardwood, and they are also weather resistant when they have been painted or sealed. Wood plastic composites. Wood plastic composites are produced by thoroughly mixing groundwood particles and heated thermoplastic resin. The most common method of production is to extrude the material into the desired shape, though injection molding is also used. These are mainly used in automotive, transportation, and building applications, but furniture applications are also being developed. Reinforced concrete. We all know that this reinforced concrete is the most common thing we know in a building construction among the group. Reinforced concrete in which steel is embedded in such a manner that the two materials act together in resisting forces. In reinforced concrete, the tensile strength of steel and the compressive strength of concrete work together to allow the member to sustain these stresses over considerable spans. Next one, we have fiber cement for roofing. Fiber cement is a durable material made from sand, cellulose fibers, and cement, which is where manufacturers reinforce cement with fibers such as cardboard and similar items. This type of roofing materials inventor got the first patent in 1901. Last on the list, we have cement bonded wood fiber. Users have focused primarily on the advantages of these composites: resistance to decay and insects, acoustical properties, and thermal insulating properties. It is made from wood, usually waste wood, chipped into a special graded aggregate that is then mineralized and combined with Portland cement. And now, what composite materials are fit to your needs and preferences? I hope you will be able to apply them all soon in your future project. Thank you! composites,
doors, and
Windows.
Furnishings.
hardware. Hello, builders!
today you will learn about
Some of the materials.
Used in building and construction.
So let's go right with it.
And start building successfully.
Another classification of hardware is finished hardware. It's also called architectural hardware, builder's finished hardware. These are the hardware such as hinges, locks, catches, etc. that has a finished appearance as well as a function, especially that used with doors, windows, and cabinets. It may be considered part of the decorative treatment of a room or a building. The first type of finishing hardware is hinge. It is a jointed device, usually consisting of two leaves joined together by a pin, on which a door, gate, or shutter swings, turns, or moves. The most basic, or the fundamental type of hinge is butt hinge. It is a hinge composed of two plates secured to the abutting surfaces of a door and door jamb. There are many kinds of butt hinge, including the fast pin hinge, where it has a non-removable pin. We have the full surface hinge, having two sleeves surface mounted to the adjacent faces of a door and door frame. We have the loose joint hinge, where the knuckle is formed from half of each leaf, with the upper half removable from the pin. We also have the loose pin hinge, which has a removable pin so that a door can be unhung by separating the two leaves. We have the pommel hinge, which has a small pivoting joint, and like the pommel hinge, we have the olive knuckle hinge, which has an oval-shaped knuckle. The last type of butt hinge is piano hinge, which is long, up to 6 feet narrow hinge that runs full length to the full surfaces to which its sleeve are joined. Other hinge types include spring hinge, which has a cold spring in its center barrel to allow automatic closing of the system. It can be of double or single action. We have the pivot hinge, which allows the rotation of a door or window with the use of the axle of a pin. We have an offset hinge, which is used for hanging lipped or overlapping doors. An invisible hinge is also available in a number of flat plates rotating about a central pin with shoulders mortised into the door edge and door frame so as to concealed when closed. We have the flush counter hinge installed to flush counter doors that lay flush in the surface. Door bolts and fasteners are also considered finishing hardware. These are hardware devices that mechanically joins or fixes two or more objects together. In general, they are used to create non-permanent joints and also for security purposes. In door bolts, there are three types. We have the surface bolt, the flush bolt, and the foot bolt. In fasteners, there is a chain door fastener that can be used in door systems. There are a variety of latch and lock sets, which is an assembly of parts making up a complete locking system, including knobs, plates, and a locking mechanism. There are many types. We have the simple latch, which is a simple fastening device having a latch bolt, usually openable from both sides. A lift latch is a variation of a simple latch, which has a pivoted bar that engages a hook on the door jamb. We have the rabbeted lock, wherein the face is flush with a rabbet on a rabbeted door jamb. A board lock is intended for installation in a circular hole in the door. An integral lock is a mortised lock where the cylinder is in the knob. A roller latch has a roller under spring tension instead of a beveled spring bolt. The roller engages a strike plate having a recess formed to receive. A screen door latch is a latching device used in screen doors and generated by a knob or a lever handle. A key padlock is a device which fastens in position, operated by a key. On the other hand, a magnetic padlock is operated by a magnet. A hasp lock is a kind of hasp, consisting of a loop and a slotted hinge plate, built-in locking device which can be opened only with a key. A catch is a device commonly installed in a cabinet which engages a strike and held the engaged position by friction. There are three types: the double roller catch, the magnetic catch, and the bullet catch. Finishing hardware can be applied in a new level just like in automatic door closure mechanism. Automatic door closer mechanism is a set of mechanical devices installed to doors that enables for automatic and easier access. There are 4 types. We have the pneumatic type, the semi-concealed overhead type, the concealed type, and the overhead liquid type. In order to operate an opening or closing system, handles that users can firmly and comfortably hold onto are very important, like the knobs and pulls. There are many ergonomically designed knobs and pulls, like handle set, doorknob, lever handle, appliance pull, arch pull, bar pull, birdcage pull, cup pull, drop handle pull, the finger pull, the pendant pull, the recessed pull, and the ring pull. Other finishing hardware include door stoppers. These are commonly installed to the lower ends of the door to prevent it from striking the floor. There are 3 types: the doorstop roller, the doorstop sliding, and the doorstop spring. On the other hand, astragals are vertical members used between double doors to seal the opening, to act as a doorstop, and to provide extra security when the doors are closed. A spring door closer is connected to a screen door system to automatically close it. A weather stripping is used along the edge and bottom of doors to provide a tight seal against water and air infiltration. Different types of neoprene, felt, metal, vinyl, and other materials are used. A self-bracket is an overhanging member projecting like a cantilever from a wall or other body to support weight. Pivots provide an alternative way to hang doors where the visual appearance of hinges is objectionable or where a frameless door design may make it impossible to use hinges. Pivots may be center hung or offset and are mounted in the floor and head of the door. Last but not the least, panic hardware. This type of operating hardware is used where required by the building code for safe egress during a panic situation. Push bars extending across the width of the door operate rods that disengage latches at the top and bottom. The vertical rods can be surface mounted or concealed. And now, let's proceed to the installing section. First is how to install a doorknob. Step 1. Remove the old knob, latch, and strike plate. Step 2. Install latch plate on top of the latch. Step 3. Slide the latch inside the edge of the door. Step 4. Use wooden block and a hammer to tap it into place. Step 5. Secure the latch with 2 screws. Step 6. Secure the first half of the doorknob in through the latch. Step 7. Align the second one to the first half. Step 8. Push the 2 sides together. Step 9. Secure with screws. Step 10. Use wood pulley to secure loose screws. Step 11. Screw in the new strike plate. Step 12. Test if it works. Step 13. Refinish or repaint the area around the doorknob if necessary. How to install a hydraulic door closer. To install a hydraulic door closer, fasten the door mounting bracket to the doorstop rail. Mount the jamb bracket to the head jamb. Adjust the length of the chain. If it's too short, you won't be able to go in and out easily. If it's too long, the door will keep slamming shut. How to install a pneumatic door closer. To install a pneumatic door closer, attach the bracket and cylinder in the jamb mounting bracket. Adjust the closing speed by inserting a screwdriver into the adjustment screw, pushing the screwdriver in and turning the screw 180 degrees.
And now, what hardware is fit to your needs and preferences? I hope that you'll be able to apply them all soon in your future project. Thank you!
Composites.
Doors and
Windows.
Furnishings.
Hardware. Hello, builders!
today you will learn about
Some of the materials
used in building and construction.
So let's go right with it.
And start building successfully.
Hardware and fasteners. Hardware fasteners has a very important application in the construction industry. They are a set of elements or fittings which help the building to function efficiently. They are mainly used to bind or connect building features or elements together. It is used as a decorative element in the interiors of the building and also used as protective elements like in fire doors, window latch, locks, and more. Hardware can be classified into two: finishing hardware and rough hardware. But let's talk about rough hardware. In building construction, rough hardware meant to be concealed, such as bolts, nails, screws, rods, and other metal fittings. First, nails. Nails are a basic type of fastener and have been used in construction in some form for at least 3,000 years. They are most commonly used for joining pieces of timber or for fastening materials to timber and are suitable when a screw is unnecessary. This most basic type of fastener also comes in a variety of shapes and sizes, some best suited for structural frames and other used in finished carpentry work. The most common types are the following. Common nails. These nails, also called common wire nails or construction nails, have straight shanks and flat heads. In home construction, common nails are usually used for framing and they are typically installed with a nail gun. Duplex nails. A duplex or double-headed nail appears to have two heads or one elongated one. The lower head rests against the surface of the wood it is nailed into, while the second head is designed so that the nails can be easily removed with a hammer or nail puller. Duplex nails are used for temporary structures like scaffolding or concrete forms. Sinker nails. Most framing is built using common nails and a pneumatic gun, but sinker nails are short, thin nails used in hard-to-reach areas. They are usually coated either in cement or vinyl. The friction heats up the nail, melts the vinyl coating, and makes for a smooth, easy driving nail. Once it's set, the rings at the top hold it in while the vinyl cools and solidifies, creating an adhesive bond. Underlayment nails. These nails are used to lay plywood floors or subfloors, either over existing or atop wooden joists. They have thinner shanks to minimize the risk of splitting, but their most notable characteristic is the rings along their lengths. They give underlayment nails some of the benefits of a screw, with greater gripping force than a straight nail. Decking nails. Like underlayment nails, decking nails are ringed. The design helps assure nails stay in place despite the drying and weathering condition that decks are exposed to. Roofing nails. These nails have heads that are disproportionately large compared to their shanks, helping them hold shingles or other roofing materials in place. Some roofing nails have a small, often plastic disc, not unlike a washer underneath the head. This increases the surface area of the material that the nail keeps in place. Annular ring nails, also known as ring shank nails or drywall nails. Annular ring nails have a series of rings along their shanks. Spiral shank nails. The shanks of a spiral shank nail look more like a screw. As they are nailed into the wood, they twist and create their own threads. While annular ring nails are used with soft woods, spiral shank nails are used with hard woods that are denser and harder to penetrate. Masonry nails. In order to drive a nail into a cement or stone, you'll need a thicker shank like those with masonry nails. They also have fluted or groove shanks to help them penetrate the hardest of surfaces. Rods, casing, and finishing nails. With thin shanks and small nail heads, these nails are used for trim and other small wood details. They are used on picture frames, paneling, and narrow trim. A casing nail, the largest of the three, is used when trim requires extra support, as with window frames and casings around door frames. You'll most likely come across cut nails when working on a house designed to have an old-fashioned period feel. Also called square nails, they are cut from metal sheets instead of wire and were common in knife. Next one, screw. Screw is a type of hardware fastener that attributes its mechanical capabilities to the helical groove that extends around the circumference of the device shank. Screws come in many varieties. The external threads on the screw can either mate with an internally threaded nut or hole or cut its way into a soft material. Screws are inserted via torque applied in a clockwise manner to the head with a screwdriver. Before we proceed, let's talk about the difference of bolts and screws. Since the terms bolt and screws were in use before the advent of easily produced helix fasteners, they are often synonyms. However, several standards bodies have attempted to differentiate the terms, with many concluding that it is not the devices which are different, but how they are used. Bolts are externally threaded fasteners that are prevented from being turned during assembly, but are positioned or released by torquing a nut. Screws are externally threaded fasteners that can be inserted into pre-trap holes or that can perforate a material and create its own internal thread. Screws are fastened by torque applied to the head. This definition is still somewhat ambiguous and is not all-encompassing, but does provide the basis to begin differentiation. The shape of your screw head may not seem important, but each head is made that way for a reason, usually enabling you to create project easier and with your preferred finish. Some head shapes help to create the look of the finished product, but they also usually have a purpose beyond aesthetics. The head shape of the screw also helps you drive the screw into your material using your force and the mechanics of the screw. Some of them are flat, raised, bugle, binding, dome, flange, and truss. There is an outstanding variety of screws. Described here are ones that contractors are most likely to encounter, beginning with the cap screw. Cap screws have a fairly wide shoulder for holding fast to an object, but may not be threaded over their full body length. They come in a variety of head styles and are designed to be inserted into tapped holes. Deck screw. Deck screws are the type of wood screw that is meant to assemble decking components and materials. They sit flush with the workpiece surface. Composite deck screws have a non-helical thread near the screw head. Dowel screw. Dowel screws do not have a head. Both ends are threaded, albeit in opposite directions. They provide a hidden joint between two substrates. Drive screw. Drive screws are meant to be hammered into pre-tap holes. They form into their own mating thread and are permanent. Drywall screw. Drywall screws are shortened screws meant to hold sheet rock to wall studs. Eye screw. Eye screws have a loop head. They serve as an attachment point. Jack screw. Jack screws are mainly used in computer and electronic components for D-type cable connectors. Lug screw. Lug screws are self-tapping screws that meant to be applied with a wrench or socket. They are very strong and are meant for a wide variety of materials. Masonry screw. Masonry screws are explicitly designed to attach materials to concrete. They are frequently blue in color for easy identification. Machine screws. Machine screws are meant to apply two metal workpieces together with the use of pre-tap hole. They are threaded on the entire length of the shank and usually have a countersink. Mirror screws. As the name implies, mirror screws are used in conjunction with mirrors. They are usually composed of a light non-abrasive material with a chrome finish. Sheet metal screws. Sheet metal screws have a very sharp thread for easy installment of metal to wood or fiberglass. Thumb screws. Thumb screws have large diameter, knurled head which allows the screws to be torqued by hand. Wing screws. Wing screws have flank heads, allowing them to be tightened by hand. And lastly, wood screws. Wood screws have the intention of penetrating wood but can be used in many easily deformed materials. They are usually flathead, countersunk tool. Bolts, nuts, and washers. Nuts and bolts are another common type of fastener. These two pieces work in tandem to hold components together. You insert the bolt through the two parts you want to join, then fasten it in a place with the nut on the end. Here are some of the most common types of bolt you'll use. Carriage bolts. Carriage bolts have dome or countersunk heads with a square component under the heat to keep the bolt from moving while tightening the nut. Flange bolts. Flange bolts include a circular flange beneath the head for distributing loads evenly. Plow bolts. Plow bolts are for heavy-duty applications such as heavy equipment with non-protruding heads. Hex head bolts. Hex head bolts are six-sided with machine threads. Square head bolts. Square head bolts have square heads offering an easier grip for wrenches. Allen bolts. Allen bolts have a hexagonal socket for use with Allen wrenches. Next are some of the most popular types of nuts and their designs. Coupling nuts. Coupling nuts are hex-shaped and join two male threads together. Flange nuts. Flange nuts have a wide serrated flange on the one end that serves a similar function as a washer but without any added movement. Hex nuts. Hex nuts are the most common variety, featuring a hex shapes and internal threads. Lock nuts. Lock nuts include designed to prevent loosening due to vibrations. Slotted nuts. Slotted nuts have sections cut out to create a locking mechanism with the help of a cotter pin. Square nuts. Square nuts feature a square shape for greater surface area. Wheel nuts. Wheel nuts are designed for securing wheels onto vehicles. Nuts and bolts can function on their own, but sometimes you'll want to add a washer in between. A washer is a flat disc with an opening in the center. This little piece can distribute the fastener's load more evenly across the surface of the material. Some types of washers are beveled washers. Beveled washers add stability when attaching unparalleled surfaces. Flat washers. Flat washers are round and thin. Lock washers. Lock washers use mechanisms to prevent nuts, screws, and bolts from vibrating loose. Structural washers. Structural washers are thicker and used in heavy-duty applications. Anchors get their name because they serve a similar function to a boat's anchor, which embeds itself in the seabed to keep a ship from moving. Generally, people use these fasteners to connect something to a material like drywall or concrete. These embed themselves in the material and hold the object you are fixing in place. Most anchors fall into one of the 7 categories, and these are the following. Internally threaded anchors. Internally threaded anchors are used with machine screws, cap screws, or threaded rod that is applied and are designed for concrete, block, brick, and stone. A setting tool may be required and they are not removable or reusable. Externally threaded anchors. Externally threaded anchors made for concrete anchoring have an exposed threaded stud. A nut and a washer may be included and a setting tool is not needed. They are not designed to be removed or reused. Concrete or masonry screw and pin anchors. Concrete or masonry screw and pin anchors are one-piece anchors used with concrete, brick, and block as noted. Concrete or masonry screws require a pre-drilled hole and are removable. Pins do not require a hole and are considered permanent. Screw anchors. Screw anchors expand when a sheet metal screw, wood screw, or lug screw as noted and not supplied is installed. Generally, these are light-duty anchors designed for use in one or more of the following materials: concrete, brick, block, stone, mortar joints, wallboard, wood, ceramic tile, and stucco. Hollow wall anchors. Hollow wall anchors are rated for light to medium to heavy duty loads. Use them in one or more of the following materials as indicated: drywall, gypsum wallboard, plaster walls, hollow doors, thin panels, wood paneling, hollow brick, and hollow block. Certain styles are not removable. Sleeve anchors. Sleeve anchors use a pre-installed screw or threaded stud to expand the anchor once inside the hole. Drive anchors. Drive anchors are tampers resistant and use a pin to expand the anchor after it is in position. Use them in concrete, block, brick, and stone as specified. Last fastener, rivets. A rivet creates a permanent joint between two objects. They consist of a cylindrical shaft with a head on one end and a tail on the other. Rivets are remarkably durable compared to other types of fasteners. Some common types of rivets include solid rivets. Solid rivets, also known as round rivets, are one of the oldest fasteners, have the most basic construction, a shaft and a head, which is deformed with the hammer or rivet gun. Tubular rivets. Tubular rivets, also known as semi-tubular rivets, has a structure that is similar to solid rivets. The difference is tubular rivets have a partial hole at the tip. Blind rivets. Blind rivets, also known as pop rivets, are tubular fasteners consist of a rivet and a mandrel through the center. Blind rivets can be installed without access to the back side of the item being riveted. Blind rivets can be divided into standard blind rivets, self-driving blind rivets, self-tapping blind rivets, speed fastening blind rivets. Blind rivets can be used for different purposes at home applications, attaching nameplates, signs, hinges, doorknobs, handles, and ceiling decorations, as well as woodworking in industrial applications. Drive rivets. Drive rivets is a form of blind rivets but with a short mandrel from the head. Drive rivets are used to secure panels and other similar architectural features to masonry walls. They are best for any purposes in which the hole does not penetrate the entire sheet or panel. Split rivets. Split rivets are also known as bifurcated rivets. They are a type of self-piercing rivet can have a unique design. They have split bodies or pairs of legs on smaller ends. The best uses for split rivets are soft materials including plastic, wood, or leather. Let's now talk about methods of fastening. At first, what is fastening? Fastening is one temporary joining process that employs additional elements to mechanically assemble or attach two or more parts together. Additional mechanical elements that are used for fastening is called fasteners. These are the methods of fastening. First, mechanical fastening. Mechanical fastening methods include integral fasteners, threaded fasteners, non-threaded fasteners, and stapling. Adhesive bonding. Adhesive bonding forms permanent joints that cannot be disassembled without destroying components. Adhesive bonding can be defined as molecular cohesion between unlike liquids or solids that resist interfacial separation. Automated assembly. Assembly can represent one of the highest direct labor costs in manufacturing. This cost can be significantly reduced through automation. The three major automated assembly machine configurations include dial or rotary index machine. This type of machine is usually limited to smaller size work of minimum complexity. Inline indexing assembly machine. This circumferential machine type is the most common inline indexing assembly machine. Carousel assembly machine. The carousel machine consists of a series of fixtures attached to a chain or belt which moves the component from one workstation to another along a horizontal plane. Now that's it. That is all about the rough hardware.
And now, what hardware are fit to your needs and preferences? I hope that you will be able to apply them all soon in your future project. Thank you!